Hello, my name is Lizzie. Each week I'm bringing along different origami folds to encourage you to take some time out for yourself. Make sure you give yourself some well-being time. How to do it? To do something I find rather useful. And with the most everyday of material, paper, you can transform it into something beautiful which has meaning to you. Maybe it'll be definitely start with making something for yourself. It's about self-care. But then maybe you could learn it, make more for others and give them as presents. And paper's such an easy thing to send, it's so light, or to give to somebody else and just show you care. They will definitely treasure whatever you make. So I think it's very much comes from a kind of a gift culture. Obviously comes from Japan and Korea as well. And it's about honouring the paper, something we take for granted, but is actually an extraordinary material made from plant fibres. So it's a little bit of nature as well, and it's combined with our human creativity. We do like to make things, do things, and that's what's made us so successful. But at least with this, maybe you could use paper that would otherwise go in the bin and you can make something very special from it. So all of these films are dedicated to my colleagues at UCLH Hospital in London, to staff, encourage them to take some time for themselves. Thank you for all you're doing to care for others. But these films are for everybody, so I hope you can get inspired and join me in this feeling of community through folding as well. I think it should be about generosity and kindness and being together and sharing. So all of these folds I am sharing with you, and I hope they will bring you joy and comfort in these times. So this week I'm bringing along something which I have been experimenting myself with folding, and I very kind of I just got completely absorbed in trying more and more folds. And this is something I did find. Now, I think someone else may have found this as well, but it's engineering, so people will find the same thing. But this is something I have found from my own explorations. And of course, it's a beautiful clover. And I'm thinking of, at this time in the UK, schools are about to go back. And things are changing, so I think we all need a good dose of luck. And of course, I guess luck is also about how you're feeling inside. So a 4-leaf clover, if you haven't ever looked, I thoroughly recommend going and finding clovers and having a good look, and you will find clovers. They are out there. I have found many 4-leaf clovers, 5-leaf, 6-leaf, even 7-leaf. I honestly have. Over the years I've found many and then pressed them, and again they're lovely presents too. So it could either be a clover, or it could be a kind of a flower of hearts. It's also like a little flower of hearts. The good thing with this is that a while back I showed a clover, but it falls apart very easily. This stays together, so it's a definite advantage. Of course, if you don't have some lovely papers, then you can colour as well. So here I've coloured and then folded up. So yeah, so it's up to you whether you want to make a circle of hearts into a flower or a clover. It requires 2 pieces of paper. Grab yourself something to press on. I've got some paper and I will show you how. You might want to do it small after a while, so it's more like a real clover, but it's up to you. I am, first of all, I think going to make a big square. So I'm going to take a corner, line it up here, and then with this square I am going to split it into 4 and just use 2 of these. So again, taking my time, lining it up so it goes nicely for the end. And I think it's taking your time, which also, this is about time for you. It's taking that time out for yourself. Going slowly will make it more relaxing and it will work better, and you will be completely immersed in what you're doing. I'm going to remove this rectangle, so I'm turning it over, bringing it back, lining it up, like so. Good strong fold. There we go. Let's add a bit of tension, and then you can do a little tiny rip there. You should be able to remove that section. I might do a bit more experimenting with that little piece of paper so it all gets used. So I'm opening it up and I'm going to split this into 4. We actually just need 2 squares. Again, maybe you could make a couple then. I am again tearing this. So you're going to need 2 squares at the same size. I'm going to remove that. No need to using this. Now I'm going to fold this over. You may have some origami paper, it could be nice, but of course you can use whatever paper you have to hand, or it's quite fun taking scrap paper. I might quickly add a little bit of colour. A little bit of green. To me it's a clover. So I do like symbols of luck. I guess it's a feeling of control when you know that things are not under your control. And maybe that's why as humans we love symbols of luck, and often origami is about symbols of luck and of living long and good health and showing you care. These are all good things. Art is all about symbolism. It's not really what it is. It's like that. It's not a pipe. It's a symbol of a pipe. This is a symbol of a 4-leaf clover. And a 4-leaf clover symbolises something else. I've quite been enjoying doing very rough, scribbly colouring in. It does not have to be perfect. This is quite fun because I think doing a bit of colouring like this very randomly makes it feel like a little bit of the energetic and then the very careful folding. So it's a good combination. So I've got 2 squares. Okay, how to make your clover. So first of all, take your piece. It's going to be a bit like the fortune teller actually. So I'm going to turn it over and I am going to take the corners to meet each other. So I'm making those, make it into a triangle like so. So I've just done that. I'm next going to do the other one. So I'm going to tilt it round and again top to bottom like so. There we go. So next I'm going to take the top and bring it to the middle point, and I'm going to do that for each of the corners. Very satisfying. It's like it's all coming together already. So this is like the, the fortune teller. That's a nice thing to do. And that starts off in the same way. Like so. I like how it looks a bit like a little letter now, a little envelope. There we go. I mean, this in itself is a lovely shape. If you made lots of these and put them up, it would look very striking. So I'm going to open up one of the flaps. Actually, I'm going to open up all the flaps. And I'm going to fold the outside bit to that point. So I was making lots of sort of square things, which I've really enjoyed, which is what this comes from, the outside to that point. There we go. At the moment, it will look a bit like a little picture frame. Like so, outside to the middle. Like so. Now we're just going to fold that inwards. As I said, it's going to look like a little picture frame. Maybe you could have it as a picture frame. There we go. So it looks like this. Now we're going to turn to the back. And we're going to take the side and bring that to the middle. We're going to do it for the 2 opposite sides, that's all. So I'm going to take this and bring it to that middle point. But I'm going to put it down on a solid surface so I can see what I'm doing well. So I took one side, doesn't matter which, bring it to the middle, and you're going to do it to the 2 opposite sides, and that's it. Quite thick. Enjoying that. There we go. Now turn to the back again, and it looks like this. Nice little shape. And what I want you to do is put your fingers underneath those little flaps, and we're going to sort of almost, this is a bit shape shifting, we're changing it. So I'm putting those under and I'm stretching them out and I'm pressing it down. So it forms this shape. I always find it very hard to put into words. So it was, let me see, how was it? It was up like this. And I took the side and I opened it and I stretched it so this kind of flattened, and I pushed this down and it became this shape. Lots of nice fiddling around. So I'm going to do the same thing again on the other side. So I'm going to put my fingers under and then pulling them out, and it's sort of coming down then in the middle like so. There we go. And they should line up together. We're almost there for 1/2 of our clover. So it's looking like this. Now to turn to the other side, you have got two little, they could be hearts or leaves. And I'm going to take these top points, let's soften it a bit. So I'm going to take the points and fold it back like so. You see, I'm taking that and I'm folding it back like so. And the same on this one. So I'm going to take that top pointy corner and fold it back. Ugh. There we go. There we go. So that's half of it. Right, we're going to do the same thing all over again. Good practice, hey? So I've got the pattern side. I'm turning it to the white. And I'm going to take, oh, you can see corner to corner. I might as well just use that there. Corner to corner. Opening it up. And the other corner to corner. So this corner down to here. So making a diagonals. Like so. Our next step is to take each point and bring it to the middle like the fortune teller. Very satisfying. I found this a very calming and nice relaxing one to make, and you could send some luck this way, or at least that you're thinking of someone else, which does make a difference in our lives. So I guess that's how it works. You can show someone you care. Make a nice card as well. So there we go. Our next stage is to open up the flaps, and you're going to take the corner and bring it in there. So bringing that, and I'm doing that for each one. So it was the outside bit, and I'm bringing it to that point, folds in, and I'm going to do that now for each side. Yeah, I think it's the repetition of this that's makes it quite relaxing. Nice little neat pattern. Oh, with my rather raggedy colouring in. And we can then push that down, close it up, so keeping that tucked in. It's almost like a little picture frame. There we go. There we go. So it's like a nice little picture frame. So we're going to now turn to the back. And we're going to take a corner and bring it to the middle. And we're just doing this for two ones opposite. Like so. I took that one. I'm going to take this bottom one up to the middle as well. There we go. So it should look like this. And now I'll turn it over, looking like this. And again, we're going to put our fingers underneath those flaps, and as I'm pulling it out, it sort of brings it down, and it sort of flattens down like so. There we go. I'm going to do the other end, so again, opening it up and flattening it down. That's it. Great. Rid of any wrinkles. Right, there we go. So it should all line up together. Again, turn it over to the back, and you will see you've got two hearts or two leaves, depending on how you're feeling about it. And again, if it's pointed, it will be pointed at the top. Let's soften it a bit. So I'm just taking those and folding those back. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Other one. Right. It's extremely easy to get together, this one. It is what's called a modular piece of origami because it involves more than one, but it's really nice because it will fit there really strongly. It won't fall apart. So we're going to take one. Can you see it just slots in nicely there? And then I am going to pull that one out, and it will simply line up in a gap. And that is it. You have made your strong 4-leaf clover. There we go. Or maybe you've made a little pinks and reds to maybe be either, or a flower of hearts. It's completely up to you which you'd like to make. I hope that's worked for you, and I hope it brings you good luck too. Thank you very much. Bye bye.